hope to find you well. So let's get back into our Docker thing. Simple Docker, yeah, right. So I'll just tweet that we're live right now. Okay, if someone can tell me about the music, please. Is it too loud? Okay, cool. Tweet it, tweet it. Okay, so let's get back into Docker, right? So I'll just stop everything I have running with Docker in my machine, and I'll bring back the episode, our episode, the previous one. We've been playing with a development setup. So it was here. Hey Samuel. Hey Samuel, how are you today? Glad you're here again. So, are you ready for the next things we'll be doing? I really hope so. Let's do it. So, simple Docker. And you know, today there's a change of plans because it's the last episode of the season and of the series, I mean, because we were to, well, what can we expect next after this episode? We were about to do virtual hosts or multiple applications, right? Multiple apps with traffic. And SSL certs. Auto. SSL certificates with traffic. We were going to deploy within or with Laravel, Forge and Docker, and we were here for the prod deployment. Oh, Samuel. Yeah, so this is what I meant. I'm sorry. I don't know if today we'll have the time. Sorry. There's this slight change of plans because, well, let's get back to that. So, until, or I mean, the series is Simple Docker, right? So, if it's Simple Docker, we should have keep it simple, right? And not make it 10 or 15 or 20 episodes, right? So I think we've done pretty good in terms of Docker, Docker Compose, basic deploy, and a multitude of stuff until now. So, of course, we're not going to stop. It's just that Simple Docker will have 6 episodes with today, and the followings will be an episode of their own, right? Not to be episode 20, episode 25, and so on. I think I've been thinking a little bit about this, and what do you think about this different approach? So today we would be looking at some commands that we've missed from before. Of course, there are plenty more to learn, but for the simple basic approach, just to start playing with Docker, I think we're pretty good. And the next episode would be for the production deployment. So you understood, and okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry if I disappointed in any way. I think we really need this to be closed. I mean, for the simple Docker chapter, and then we go to the more advanced use cases, right? Um, because we may even just use the Docker for local development or whatnot. Yeah, I think 6 episodes is even so. It's quite enough for the simple Docker um, series. So yeah, that's it. That's why. Okay, so let's bring back our server. So we were playing with this Docker server, and if all went well, it's still working, right? We're going to duplicate. Whoop, not this. No, I'm all good, Samuel is saying. Really appreciate your explanation of Docker. Oh, not a problem. Also, all good. Yeah, I'm I'm just it's because I've said something for today, and now I really have to change because it made totally sense for me. So that's why. I'm glad you also understand and agree. Okay, so this is our full stack application that we've been building. So I'll bring the diagram for the infrastructure that we've done. And that would be this one. So yeah. So at our left, we see what is the infrastructure for this project. And yeah, pretty much we deployed this server, this host machine, and with the help of Docker, you can find it in the latest or previous episode. You can find all of this happening maybe in under 10 minutes thanks to the configuration that we have set up. Of course, this is a very naive implementation. It's just to get started, something like that. Of course, we will want at least a couple of more things, and this would be a more optimum solution where we would just expose port 80, which would redirect to SSL on 443, and not any doors more open, and all of these would be under behind the curtains, right? Even to SSH to the server, we could do that with a jump server and whatnot. So we will reach these in the next episode, not today. Today we will be clearing a few commands that I've been thinking that we should see. So yeah, most likely it's still working. I'm voting for Brahma, so I'm expecting to see, and I did. So Musa right now, and whoa, I have to wait 3 seconds to vote, and again, Musa just appeared. Okay, so that's cool. So what are we going to do? We are going to, where is that? Oh yeah, simple Docker. So we will see in the future how to self-host private registry. But for now, we'll be using the Docker Hub, right? And what is Docker Hub? Docker Hub is the central main repository from the from Docker themselves, the company behind, where we can store our images. And so instead of building the images in the server where we will be deploying, it's like we could, let's say this is our host machine, our dev machine. Let me grab it from here. Whoop, let's bring it back. Okay, so this would be our dev local machine, right? So another ideal or another setup would be we would be developing the source code in our machine, and then we would push it to some Docker registry, and then through the local machine or some CI server, right? We could again, sorry, I just pushed from my dev, so never mind about the CI for now. It's just that we could push it there and then SSH into the server like we've been doing, and then execute the Docker pull that would get the image already built from there and use it. So similarly, we could just update our code. So this would be like, I don't know, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, or your own other flavor of source control, and they might have their own CI or it could be a different one, doesn't matter. Let's, for the sake of simplicity, let's use it with actions or pipelines in the other two, right? So we could develop source code here with the dev docker compose, and then we would push the code. Oh, so right now I could have used pencil. So we would push the code, and this CI would make the build of the image and push it to the repo, and would SSH, so push the image to the Docker Hub, and then afterwards, as a second step, so this is one step, build, push, and then let's say go to the server and pull the latest image and run it, right? And today we will see those commands right now. So we can do that. Let me check if I have a simple project I can do that with. So just a moment. So yeah, I have one from before. It's public. There's a epidocker and a Laravel 8.1. So let's find this one. And where is the repo? Let me find it. Let me know if you have any questions, Samuel or more people at home. Okay, so go inside my repo. I don't see it right now. I don't exactly see it. So example Docker Forge. Not this one. Okay, not to worry. What we will do is that we have to, well, let's pretend we are in a fresh machine. So we will run docker login. right? And with existing credentials, okay, it's done. So I cannot, I don't know what we have. Okay, so I am logged in. If we didn't have any, I will not delete credentials right now, but you would log in with your username and password. After creating your username, and what is going to happen is that you will be able to push one private image, and you can have then public images. So I'm not exactly, let me try to see if I can find that API Docker. Nope, I deleted the repo. Also locally. Yeah, I did. So I think I will be able to delete it later, but not a problem. So because I have just logged in into the thing, I'm going into our project, and I will push that image, so to speak. So I wouldn't need, so what's happening here? Oh yeah, I've been playing with something else. So what would happen here is that we would build the image. So we would have to build a production image, for instance, and then we would have to push it. So maybe this is not the best example again. Oh, sorry for this. Let's be patient and calm, because no need to worry. So we go into simple Docker, right? And yeah, let's go into simple Docker, and that will be cool. So new window. So this is the first app that we've done with Docker Compose and a Node application. So let's bring it up again. Let me stop everything, and I did. We are in the shell again. So Docker Compose prod, we'll use that. DC is the alias to Docker Compose command. So let's run Docker Compose -f docker compose.prod, and I will build it, or up and build before, and I will be sure that this image will be built for the before running, and we can see we are serving in port 3000 in the container, but let's check what's the mapping. 3000 to 3000. So we're gonna go ahead and run localhost 3000, and sure enough we have an answer from the container. So that's cool. So now that I built the image, it was built with this tag. And what do we have to do, say in an image, or what's the composition of the image? So docker image docs. I don't want to say something wrong, but meaning that when I will stop searching for that, you will be able to find that also later. Meaning is, for example, I can have, so this would be in the global namespace image, right? And I don't know what's the I think those are only for official images. So what I can do to push them for the repo is my username, IJ Patricio, /simple docker latest. So this would make a tag under my namespace with this name and with this tag. So if I were to do this again, so I would build, everything is cached, so oh no, it will npm install and so on, but now it's tagged. So if I were to docker image ls and ijpatricio, sure enough, I have now, no I don't, why is that? ijpatricio simple docker. So there are other ones. What happened? Simple docker. Oh, you must be screaming at home because you've seen what I did wrong already. Oh, we have more chats. Oh, sorry. What I did is dc build, but I didn't say use the docker compose.production.yaml. So yeah, now this is going to be. So Sebastian also joined. Thank you for joining again. So, but Sebastian is asking, saying hello, Patricio, hello. Etzner is a good cloud company. Well, yes, I think for the I've been using it for the latest months, and no issues at all. It's a better price. I mean, value for money. I think it's greater benefit in terms of value for money, right? It's lacking some services that other cloud providers might have, but for sure you can test it. I will definitely recommend it. Also the others, but you're asking about Etzner, so yeah, and I would totally recommend to use. And how do you secure upload your Docker images to Docker Hub? Yeah, we were speaking about that. And how do we secure? How secure is it to upload Docker images to Docker Hub? Well, I'm not the best person to answer you that in terms of IT security and so on, but I would say it's pretty safe because it's right this way you are deploying to a Docker official cloud, right? So I wouldn't say they would do anything malicious, right? You can also use AWS Elastic Container Registry, also GitHub packages. So there are plenty, and of course you can make your own server, and you have this is called registry. You can host your own Docker registry with Docker. You just have to do a Docker compose, and you would run. We will see that further ahead. So you could also run within Docker a Docker registry to store your own, and that way you will know that stuff are with you, right? Is this the first stream you did with Francisco? Samuel, I'm not sure if I follow along what you meant. The Docker image with Francisco. Oh, Epi Docker. I don't think so. That was some stream I was doing, but then lots of personal stuff happened. My marriage, so I had to divide myself a lot more, and I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted. So I rebooted the whole thing, and never gonna stop, right? That's the idea. So Samuel is saying, Sebastian, Docker Hub has an option to upload your image as either private or public, right? Public images are just like public GitHub repositories, open. Yeah, that's right. So it's like my own images. I mean, for example, Where's Docker Hub? Elastic Container Registry, I didn't show it, so yeah. You can also use from Amazon or others. GitHub Packages also has Docker, and that's it. So Docker Hub, they might be public and that's free, so I could do those two for free, but also I could upload one for private, and then I would also have to pay like the others to use. So, but I mean, yeah, it's a good practice to share your apps or your code. It will be nice if you can build your image locally and push directly to your hosting. Yeah, you can do that. That's exactly what we are doing. And also that option, I don't know if you were here. So, for example, here, this dev local machine, we could, it's like you also trust GitHub with your source code, right? So yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, there's Docker Hub, and here you can run your private registry also. So you have tons of options. It's up to you to decide. You can build in your local and send directly to the where it will run, for instance. You can also, from local, send to your private registry and then have your production server come and get it. There's plenty of stuff, right? Even the GitHub pipeline can put to your private if you share the keys in the secrets, right? I mean, not share, but configure the repo for the secrets. Also, it could put to the Docker Hub. So there's a ton of options. So Sebastian is saying, sorry, I rephrase. It's not a very good practice. Share your app, private or public. Yeah, I guess it all depends on the app, right? So we've spoke about the mechanisms to make it all private. So Docker will not force you to the source code or the image to be public. Just like your source code, you are also not forced to share or to write. You can also do Git with your servers, with your machines. So it's up to you. So Sebastian Perez, Samuel is addressing to Sebastian, saying mostly in a team environment, you build and push the images to a central registry, then pull from the registry on the hosted environment. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. We were building an image, and I didn't find it because we were building without saying that we want to build for the docker compose.prod. So I'm pretty confident that right now we will see our image, and we do. So we do have IJ Patricio Simple Docker as a public image, okay? And let's just push it, and it's ready to be pushed as simple as this. Docker push and the image itself, because Docker Hub will know exactly what to do. So I'm gonna push it, and IJ Patricio / simple Docker. Do I don't remember. Maybe do I have to open it to make it before? Oh, maybe I'm not logged in, right? Docker login. I have other user logged in, most likely. So for user IJ Patricio. Now I'm gonna put my password that I have to find. So I'll be back. Docker. Okay. So I am logged in now. It's cool that it happened. I really thought I would be logged in already. So logged in, and right now I'm gonna push again, and sure enough, it's pushing that image. So yeah, that's cool. Hey Martin, I hope to find you well. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. So Sebastian replied, that's what I would like to do. Create my own environments without exposing those servers. I mean, my own GitHub server, my own registry for Docker images. Without... Can you be more clear, Sebastian? I'm not sure. Are you trying to avoid third-party companies and doing it all for yourself? This is what you are trying to do? Or you don't want to own your own things and maintain your servers running, paying the bills and all of that? I was not sure. I'm not clear what you meant. So yeah, I just pushed that image. It didn't exist in Docker Hub. So if I am to refresh, I now see another image. It's called epidocker, and you can now exactly run it. Whoa, I'm so sorry, not epidocker. Simple Docker, 0 downloads, right? So you can exactly now use it, and we will do just that. So as a demo, just for the sake of understanding, we were in our dev machine, we built the image, right? So we built the image and we have the image inside our machine, right? And now we pushed it to Docker Hub, right? This is what happened. And now we will SSH into this production machine and we will pull the image, right? We will go to Docker Hub and grab it and run it. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so Sebastian is saying that, right, avoid third-party companies. Oh, sure, so you can do everything. Sebastian's mentioning self-hosting everything. I know that is more work, but it's yours. Yeah, that's no doubt, right? Something you can do with Docker, of course, and it will help you. You can host your own GitLab. I don't know if you know this, but you can run GitLab self-hosted. There's a limit for how many users can be in your installation for the free tier. But you will have like the GitLab, you will have the web application for issues, pull requests and CI/CD, all inside your own server running this GitLab. And also there's drone CI if you want to test something different. I'm really curious to try this. Just because we're all, at least for me, I'm always jumping between GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, depending on the project, and would be nice to settle just for one CI, and that would be hosting our own. Of course, GitLab also has runners, and Bitbucket, it's a wild world out there. And what's more, of course, you will host your own Docker registry. So you will have your private registry and own your stuff. You can do your firewalls and whitelisting just so that your servers can access and so on. So I understand that you are very concerned security-wise. So yeah, and ownership-wise. So you can do that for sure. Samuel saying, Sebastian Perez, but then you take on the risk of losing all your work. If you lose access to the VM, it's hosted on. Also the responsibility of your software supply chain. Yes, that's true. And I think Sebastian was aware of that. He mentioned that. So yeah, there's lots of work for backups and replications and so on if you want to do it right. But it seemed like Sebastian was pretty sure about that. And Sebastian saying, I will host my own Proxmox server. And what is that? Because I remember using that, not using, seeing to use that. Oh, right, so backups, for backups. And is this available in Docker? Because that would be cool, right? There are plenty of, uh, what was that? Duplicati, right? Duplicati for Docker. Is this? You can also run with a Docker installation. With you just make a Docker comp. Oh, it's a virtualizer. Okay, I and it's like a hypervisor, right? Something like that. You host your VMs inside, right? I'm guessing that's it. Because I've just seen, I've went instantly to the backup words, but yeah, there's backup and also virtualization and so on. So yeah, this is cool to know. So it's an hypervisor running. You install it on your server, on your dedicated server, most likely, right? Yeah, that's cool. And I will check it later. Cool. Hello, hello. I hope I'm back. I just closed the browser. That is not good. I hope you can, if you can please check me. Check if I'm here, please, please. Thank you, thank you. Am I back? Ah, thank you guys. It was me. I closed the. I was just closing Windows and yeah, I'm using a web application to do the stream, so I just closed another browser pane. Okay. So simple Docker. Let's run it. I just pushed it. It didn't even exist 1 hour ago, and we will use that. Let's find our VPS. Here it is. Okay, cool. So let's SSH it into there. Is this the one? Yes, it is. 49. Yeah. I didn't want to to store any the identities in the known hosts. So this is why. So I guess we have the user forge from before. So let's go into our apps folder. We have Inspire. And here we are running all the other infrastructure. So let's run the other server container. IJ Patricio Simple Docker. I needed permissions to upload it because it's under my namespace, under my username, but to use it it's private. To use it is public. Only if it was private I would have to log in again, right? So I am able to use it right now. I will just docker pull IJ Patricio just to see it works, or I could do docker run and it would pull because it's not downloaded. IJ Patricio simple docker, and notice that I didn't put colon latest. When we don't put that part, it's like we are using colon latest. And there it is, we have it right now, docker image ls. So we can run it, and we don't have the compose, but we can run this as a docker command without compose. We just need to map 3000, and that's it. We will not even detach to see that it's running. So let's be sure what mapped ports are. So 80 and 6001. So let's just docker run. If you remember, --rm. So delete the container after exit, and publish from the host machine port 81 into 3000 of the container. And let's run IJ Patricio /simple docker. And that's it. I don't want to do anything else. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I built the image inside my Mac, which is M1, so I have to do something else. And if I'm not mistaken, let's go to the Docker file and from dash platform. So it will be slower in my machine, but no. How is that? Is with Docker buildx. So I think this is even cool to the stream. I did not predict this. Docker. Let's bring it up here. Docker. It's buildx for another platform. I can find it from another project, but this way we can see it together. And I think it's this. Multi-platform images, buildx to this platform. So yeah. What if I put in compose? Will it use that? So we need to build for Linux AMD 64. So let me check. Not our server. I want local. So Sebastian is asking something, but before, the good about this, I think Proxmox, the good thing about this, you can virtualize a Windows machine and pass through your GPU to that virtualized machine and use some 3D acceleration, but also maybe create a router with pfSense. Oh right, that's pfSense. It's also a firewall, right? Something like that. Yeah, I remember that from some friends before that were in the network and IT area, and we talked a lot about stuff, but it's not exactly my expertise. But yeah, very cool to know. Thanks. And also asking, are you Buddhist? Because you have patience and stay calm. I'm not exactly Buddhist, but I do appreciate the peace of mind and all of the relaxation, meditation. So yeah, I wouldn't call myself anything. I'm just a person. I don't follow exactly something, but I do appreciate it for sure. So Samuel is saying platform Linux / AMD 64. That's what I get. Cool. Thanks, Samuel. So let's build again, right? With this, let me see something. Docker image, ls, and grep simple Docker, right? 884 megabytes. Do I have any other? Nope. Docker image ls help. I wanted to see the platform, but I guess it's not like this. No worries, we'll find out as we go along. So docker compose build x, no, docker compose -f. We want to take advantage of compose. We'll build a command for us, and it's pulling a completely, there is not making use of any cache. So yeah, not using any cache, so it's a totally different image, and pretty sure it will now use Linux AMD 64. This is also something that, of course, it just happens in my machine because it's ARM machine, Apple Silicon, and if you build this in CI, it wouldn't have any of these problems. This would be the default there. So yeah, there's that. So Sebastian is asking, how far from Galicia are you? Well, I don't exactly know. I'm in Viseu and Leiria, so whoops. No, I wouldn't say very far. I don't know. It's a little bit. So I'm in this area, right? So it wouldn't be so much far. I suppose you are from Galicia, right? That's cool. I've been, while I was studying, I was living in some residence for 1 year with uh, many Spanish friends, and there was one from Galicia, actually. Pretty cool folks. Okay, so we just build it, and right now we are going to push. So I think I can even run docker compose push, and it will push all images that we build. Web app. Ah, damn it. I have to put -f. Of course, it denied some other image, other name. So let's do push. And it's pushing the service web app that is using this image. So it's... Oh, Sebastian is from Argentina, he's saying. Oh, right. That's why you know the famous Argentinian José Borges. José Borges, I would say. Not my first, not my tone is not the best, but I hope I'm not that far. Okay, so let's try to run now because we just pushed to Docker Hub. Let's run again. But I want to say I need to pull it now. Oh, so this is the thing I've been warning you about using the latest tag. As you see, I now try to run latest tag, but it's still the same image. It's not the latest one, right? If we go to Docker Hub, will it say, okay, so that image, there's an image from 737, and if I am to visit again, the same label it was a minute ago, 753. So understand that latest is just a string, okay? It's not any smart thing that will make a request, check if it's the latest. So we need to pull it. Or we would docker pull the image, or we can also say docker run and dash dash pull equal always. And this way it will try to pull the image, and if it's different it will pull. If it's the same, of course it's slower. Sorry, excuse me, it's not for all the taste, but for our taste it's good, you see. So now it detected there's something different, and now it's downloaded, and it's already listening in port 3000, and we mapped it from 81. So if all went well, we go into the production server, right? Port 81, and we have the node application running. How cool is that? So, and we should see the output. Oh, we didn't put any output. I deleted. I refreshed it, and nothing came out. So I will stop. Oh, I didn't put... Oh, it's stopping, yeah. Docker stopped. And now I will refresh, and of course it's not running anymore. So yeah, there's that for push, pull, and all of these examples. I hope I made myself clear, and of course be sure to make any questions you have about the push and pull commands. You know where to reach, so to reach me at. Sebastian saying, but my grandfather was Galician and they spoke Galego. That is a dialect, yeah, a mix of Portuguese and Spanish. Yeah, from all of those guys, the one from Galicia spoke so much more similar to Portuguese. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what we have for today. Sebastian, I don't know if you were here from the beginning. I mean, I know you were not. So what happened is that we changed, or I changed a little bit the schedule. This is the last episode of Simple Docker, right? Because if it's simple, it should be simple, and all the multiple applications with traffic, AutoSSL, Laravel Forge, Docker, and there will be plenty more stuff, cool stuff to explore with Docker. I don't want to make Simple Docker episode 20, right? So Simple Docker will finish with lots of content to go around. We will see these more commands, and that's it. We will this will add up to all the content of Simple Docker, and the next episode will have a title of its own. So there's that. The things that we were going to do today, we will do in the next one, hopefully tomorrow. So yeah, we have seen Docker push and Docker pull, and we are now going to see what is Docker commit. And Docker commit is very simple. Is something that I think I don't need the chart, right? When we build one image, okay, maybe I need it because it's good. Okay, so when we build one image, we use a Docker file, right? Docker file. And when we use a Docker file, there's the steps, commands that run. And we build, and whoop, sorry for that. We built the image, we built Docker file, and as a result we have one image, right? So Docker commit. Oh, Sebastian is saying nice. He also enjoyed that I'm separating stuff, so that's cool to know. So this image that is built, we can then run it, right? And after we run, we get a container. Whoops, this was not the symbol I wanted to use for image. Okay, it was more like of a CD or some sorts. Okay, we would run and get a container. What we're going to do is, instead of having something running here, we can go inside the Docker container that we run, and we will commit, just like in source code. We go inside, we change stuff, we delete file, we get file from the internet, we process something and so on. And this state of the container is different if we build again and run a new one, right? If we were to run a new one, we would have a blue container, fresh. It was the one we got first also, but then we changed it and it's in a... Okay, let's make this better. Okay, sorry for that, let's make it better. Also this, let's delete. Let's delete everything, cool. We'll build a blue container, a blue one. Okay. So each time we run an image, we get a blue container, right? But in a given time, we run commands. We go inside the container, we run commands, and all of these is like if we change the state in the container, if we change files and so on, we get a different container, a red one. So what if we wanted to use this for later or distribute or something like that? We can now commit, and this will make another image from the red state. So there's that, right? You have Docker file, you build an image, you are now able to run containers, fresh containers, but after you change one container, you might want to store that state into a new image. So this is essentially Docker commit. And we can see that, we will see just that, just locally. I think it was pretty clear, the explanation, but let's see it happen. So Docker PS, there's nothing running. So I will Docker, I don't know, it's simple Docker, right? So let me check. This is the image that we are doing. And okay, what can we do? This is not compiled, does need to be compiled. So the message is now is dev time. So we'll do something funny. We will, how is the local Docker compose? Is the same, just with, oh no, I want to run with the production one that will copy and keep state inside. Okay, Docker compose dash file production, and with the production file I want to run first Docker ps dash a and whoop, Docker ps will list every container running. Dash a will list all of them, and I want to see if there's one that has the word simple in it, and there are. So but these are not simple Docker image. They are web app in the simple Docker directory, right? In the simple Docker compose project. DB, add miner. So these are not our images. Even they are not IJ Patricio, right? They are not running from IJ Patricio image. It's not this one. They are all the containers from the image without IJ Patricio namespace, this DB and this at miner. So let's get back, and we have no containers like those. So let's run Docker run. I will not remove because I want to be there. I want it to persist, and I don't need to publish. I just need to make it interactive, and I want to run IJ Patricio slash simple Docker, and I don't want to run the default command that would serve the application. I want to run bash. What happened? No application. The requested image platform does not match. So I'm running in virtualized, right? So let me check. Yeah, we have two. So and this one is the ARM version, and this is the other one. So let's run that again, and Docker run dash platform. I will keep the ARM, right? Oh, but doesn't have any tag. Okay. So I will even keep in the ARM for sake of simplicity. So let's just Docker build. No. Docker compose dash f Docker compose production file, and now we will build no I think is where tagging helps, like you said. Yeah, so let's tag those. Exactly, Samuel. Thank you so much. So let's tag those sons of I cannot say. So there are two tags, right? This one is the ARM, and this one is not the ARM. So this is the hash So I'm gonna docker tag this one into ijpatricio / docker simple. It doesn't even need to be under my namespace. I'm not going to push it, just to be simpler. So ijpatricio simple docker colon arm, right? And if all went well, we now have more images. Whoops. My ijpatricio now it will not work. So I will just do it simple. And sure enough, we have one image that is called simple docker with tag arm. I could also tag this with AMD64. So yeah, it's whatever we want, right guys? So docker run the ARM version simple docker colon ARM, and I want to run bash inside, so nothing more to worry. So now even let quit, sorry, or I can even run npm start from here, right? No, because I did not map any port, so would not reply, but let's just be sure. So let's map port 3000 into 3000 of this container. Oh, docker run would open a new one. Now this is getting tricky. So docker ps -a grep simple, right? Simple docker arm already has a container. It gave it this name, right? And it's the ARM version we are looking for. It has this ID or that name. So we will run that container. And I want to run bash inside. Whoop, 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 whoop. The docker start. No, I should. How can I run in that? Docker start. It would be. So, will this work? No, it also detects. Is not exec. Yeah, but it's not exec because exec needs to be on a running container. So this is not running, but so docker ps grep simple. I can restart it, right? Like docker start, and it started, right? And it's running the default now command. And now, yes, I can go inside. So yeah, that's helpful. So now we can docker exec dash interactive in the container E402 or by the name, and I want to run bash inside. And sure enough, I have the index.js file. So nano does not exist. So let's do vim. Also not exist. apt-get update. Okay, and we are eating 1 hour. How are we on the commands we want to see? We have a few more, so I think it's going to be quick. So we can now install nano, right? Yeah, this is even something that the image will be different later on, right? But so we can be totally sure, we will nano index.js and we will edit this file that is inside, and we will say I am a different version, smiley face. Cool. I will save it, and that's it. I will exit, and sure enough, that container is altered, right? So we are now going to docker commit, and I don't do this every day, not every year, but we might need it, right? So docker commit help So options container into a tag, right? So docker ps minus a grep arm, right? It's this gallant E4002, right? So we can use, I think we can use both ID and container name as long as it's unique. So let's run docker commit this container into a repository that will be called simple docker modified, just a different image. And I will also say it's running in ARM with a label, just because I can, right? So we did commit a file now. So docker image ls, and let's grep arm. And we have 3 containers with arm, but let's ignore this one. And you see, we have the simple docker arm container, and also we have simple docker modified. The those are images. And notice the difference in size. It's because we installed nano, and also apt, we updated apt repositories and all the hooks that it runs. We installed nano and we changed the file. So these are now 2 different images. And let's see it in person. We'll docker run. We can even delete after running. I'm doing this so I can find the command again. So no, not this. Let's run publishing port 3000, let's say, and 1 to 3000 of what was the image name? Oh, fish memory. I think it was just simple docker for simplicity. ARM, right? So if I were to go into localhost 3001, I get now is dev time. Yeah, thanks, Samuel. You just put, someone was kindly put the other image to use in the chat. So, and we will use the other image, simple docker modified, in the port 3002, right? Cool. What happened? What happened? It didn't stay running as a first. So what's up with this? Simple docker arm. I'm not sure. Let me stop this container. Let me check. This is still running. Cool. Here we go. See the request. But yeah, I know it is. But just for you to be sure. And now I want a docker run the modified version. Why is it not running? Let's run bash inside and interactive npm start. Let's do it like this. Okay, I have to figure out what went wrong. And 3002, sure enough, we now see it's a different version, right? So after the commit, we have now a different image. That's it. Something I could not understand was how come that image, when we commit, don't we get a default command? Is that it? Maybe we cannot find app npm start. Oh right, because node is not in the bash, so I'm not sure how we can do this. Let's try to figure it out. No. So bash minus command npm start, and it did. So most likely I'm not fully aware of this, but it seems like it doesn't have a default command. We could do it with a Docker file, but I'm not sure. Docker commit command for the new image. How commit changes to Docker image example. Okay, there's a tutorial, but this is getting out of scope for the thing. We now see that we can commit, and yeah, this tutorial was not running the image again, so most likely there's that. We see that it works and how it works, and that will be enough for this. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this. This will not be a typical setup, right? What we have done, it was to build this image that was a modified, locally modified version of a fresh running container of a Docker image that already existed. Cool. So we need to finish. So this will be really quick. So that's good. As always, we'll take time to explore the thing instead of rushing. I'm just saying it's cool because the other ones are pretty simple. So, Docker system df. So, what does this do? Let's do it in the VPS so I don't clean all my things. So, we can run Docker system and we have some commands. Later we will see a prune. So Docker system, you can check even Docker system info, and you can see the some platform information. Cool. And what we're looking here is to the F, and like this we are checking how is our disk usage from the Docker components, right? So we have cache, we have local volumes, we have containers, and we have images. And this is all grouped because if you check for verbose output, we can now check different containers, how much size. Can we go up still? No, okay. So how much size we are using per repository. So these are the images. So containers space image, we can check each container, how much size it's using. And of course they are just using the size over the image because those are already, they are using the same. This meaning, like we've seen before, if one image is 1 gigabyte, if we run 2 containers, it will not occupy exactly 3 gigabytes, right? Because it will reuse. Docker is clever enough to use the same layers of the image. So local volumes are using this much space, and the caches, all the layers that Docker used to build and rebuild cleverly all the images. You can see the output, the verbose output to see this. Of course, we were there already. Oh, we can also run Docker logs, and okay, for one given container, or Docker compose logs. I mean, Docker, oh, we have the alias, we don't have the configuration, right? Inspire, Docker compose. Here we are running demo, right? So, Docker compose with this file, logs. And we see the latest log output, right? And this was the WebSocket things doing the shards. And we can also do -- follow. And like this, we now see in real time if we were to run something over there. Is it still there? Nope. Okay, whoop. Here's the IP address. I will open, but I will press enter with this on the background. And there we go, 1, 2, 3, and sure enough, we've seen it outputting more stuff. So refresh, and we see pressing, pressing, pressing. You see the real thing, right? Okay, so this is Docker logs. Now, I don't know why that jumped ahead. I think this would be a different topic. So let's get back to the other one. It was there because with this should have been from here, right? Okay, no problem. It's already covered. So we were in Docker system already, and I left it to the end, but let's see it now. You can see that we are running, we could run Docker system, and we have the prune command. We were seeing the space stuff, so we could run Docker system prune -i -f. So everything that is not running. It means, so if it's not a volume running, if it's not a container running, a container image from a container running, a volume, a mounted volume, if it's nothing like this, it will just delete all the space, all those files, and free up that space. But something we can do more cleverly, and especially if we are building the images. So let's get back. Okay, if we are building our images in the production environment, we really want, where is that? We really want to do that in per components, because Docker system prune will remove volumes, and we might delete. Oh yes, Samuel, thanks. And also networks not connected are deleted. Thank you, Samuel. So something we can do is Docker, and you can check, of course, all the stuff that there is here. So we can Docker container, where is that? Yeah. So we can, from the module container that manages containers, of course, we can Docker container prune, right? And these will delete all containers that are stopped. Or also a Docker image prune. So these we can get back again, build again, and that's it. From there, I will do this, Docker image prune, and yes, it's asking me because I didn't say -f, and it deleted everything that it could. It recoup 884 megabytes, and if I image prune, of course, if I image ls, I still have the images that are needed to run. It just removed, well, from this space we can see it removed the ARM image that could not run in this architecture. So yeah, this is something we could put in cron tab, right? And we could run, whoops, not like this, cron tab -e, and we could run, we could put our cron job. You can check that how you can do this, but you could put not every minute, but every day at 3 in the morning you could run Docker container prune -a -f, I mean, or -f, I mean, because then it won't be interactive and it will run. So I will not save. I'm not exactly sure if that's the syntax or something is not quite right, but you will know how to do it when you need it. Cool. And we're almost finished. Yeah, so as a last thing, to check on our system, we just run docker stats, and we can see usage. We can see per container, CPU, whoops, I just touched the scroll and then the output got a little bit crazy, so I will mark it like this. So we can see CPU, memory usage in amount, in percentage, network I/O, block I/O, disk. So we can see the state of our services like this. So of course there are plenty more stuff that can be done with Docker. It's a great vast world, and the simple approach, I think we have done it, and later I will continue with more videos. I hope you join me, and together we will do much more stuff with Docker. And for the next steps, we will host multiple applications with auto SSL certificates using traffic. So this will be mounting this setup. And yes, most likely this will be split into 2 episodes to do it very clear, or to do it clearly, but yeah, that's a different series. I think it doesn't make sense to have 20 episodes of the same topic, right? We should split it and to optimize organization. So yeah, that's why. So Samuel is saying that is the correct syntax to cron prune. Thank you so much. Ah, right. Only modification I usually do as a personal preference is redirect output for cron jobs to /dev/null, and these will not fill with logs, right? Thank you so much, Samuel. Also, Docker stats, these remind me that we could use even with Docker, and of course there are more simple stuff, but with Grafana we can monitor, and we run it in Docker, of course. Also, we can do lots of stuff and monitor system resources, have alerts, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's also very cool to use. This is just the UI to do many configurations, so we would have to use another tools like Loki for logs, Prometheus to gather metrics from a multitude of services, and yeah, that's pretty cool. If you know any more alternatives, let me know, because we might just use them. Maybe someone wants to host or make a presentation also with something. I'm not sure. He told me about this in the past. Maybe, who knows? And we'll see something from him. Okay, what's more? Yeah, so for now, the only thing that is in the horizon, it's exactly that setup, and doing that with our own machine, and also doing within Laravel Forge that setup there. Okay, cool guys, I want to thank you for one more episode with me. Please do let me know if you have any doubts. We'll be finishing right now. So Samuel is saying we shall plan a monitoring series, I think. Yes, totally, we should. Of course we should. Now that we have all the bases, we can now make a monitoring series for sure. Because when people will want to see the monitor, because I don't know what is it like for your feeling, but I'm not sure if many people want to learn Docker for the Docker, right? It's only when you get complex infrastructure and then you are having troubles learning it or managing it all, then you will want to solve that problem and you will resort to Docker. So maybe when people are watching this series about monitoring or hosting or whatnot, and they will see how easy it is with Docker, So maybe that's also a reason to go to the first season, Simple Docker. So yeah, it's nice to see it come to life. For sure, Samo. We will do something like that if it depends on me. Let me know some thoughts on that, please. So yeah, finishing for today. I want to thank you again, everyone that followed along, live or at home. That's it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening. See you in the next one. And as always, happy coding. Thank you for being here. Ciao.